From a lichen known on a single tree to animals with surprising rules for territory, mating, and survival, these are nature facts that feel stranger than fiction. Let's start with the smallest world of all, one tree. A lichen species is known from only one tree in the Chatham Islands. Not a forest, not a grove, just one living trunk. A lichen grows tightly on bark, where light, moisture, and texture all line up. Here, that tree provides the exact surface it needs. In the Chatham Islands, that match appears to be extremely narrow. The lichen is tied to a specific living trunk or branch, with no wider range known. So the known world for this species becomes tiny. One tree holds the only recorded place where it grows. For a field biologist, that means every bark crack matters. A single trunk can carry the entire story of a lichen, leaf by leaf, patch by patch. A rabbit turned up in a Laotian market, and its stripes caught attention right away. Later, scientists studied that rabbit and described it as the Annamite striped rabbit. The Annamite region is a forested area where wildlife can stay hidden for years. Its striped coat and body anatomy helped set it apart from known rabbits. Those visible details gave scientists a concrete clue that this was a separate species. Once identified, the market rabbit became evidence that hidden wildlife can surface in trade before it is recognized in the wild. A single animal on a table can point back to a whole region. From one sale table, researchers traced a thread back to the Annamite forests. The rabbit's stripes ended up in a scientific description, not just a market basket. An African elephant named Craig had tusks that reached the ground. At full height, they changed his whole outline. Craig was not a separate species. He was one elephant, with ivory growing from his face as he moved through the landscape. Tusks keep growing through an elephant's life. That slow growth can turn a normal-looking head into something extraordinary. In Craig's case, the tusks were so long they touched the ground. The body stayed the same size while the ivory stretched far below his face. That scale contrast is what people remember, a massive elephant, and tusks that draw the eye to the ground. Craig's silhouette stays vivid beside the grass. In Girardinus metallicus, only the black males put on a courtship show. The yellow and colorless males do something else. These males belong to the same species, but they do not all use the same approach. Their color forms come with different mating behaviors. The black males rely on display. Yellow and colorless males rely on coercion instead, using a forceful mating tactic rather than a show. So one population can hold two strategies at once. A bright signal and a pushy shortcut share the same small body plan. A tiny fish can split into black, yellow, and colorless males, each tied to a different mating path. The difference fits inside a single finned body. A small curlew sandpiper will chase one bird away, but ignore the next one just beyond the line. On a shore, space matters. Each bird holds a territory, and nearby neighbors sit at the edge of that map. The key is recognition. The sandpiper distinguishes a neighbor from a stranger, so it does not waste energy on the wrong target. An intruder gets chased away fast. A neighbor at the boundary gets a different response, so conflict stays smaller at the edge. That careful sorting leaves the shoreline calmer. A tiny shorebird keeps a precise map of sand, water, and one neighboring territory. Brown cacholotes sing only in duets. One bird starts, and another answers beside it. These birds are pair bonded, and the same pair stays together for life. Their song begins with that partnership. The duet fits their family system. Both adults share parental duties equally, so the voices match the work. When both adults carry the same load, the duet becomes a daily signal. Sound and care move together from branch to branch. So the duet is more than a melody. It belongs to a pair, a family, and the nest they keep together. Bosco Nordio Nature Reserve sits on dunes that were not made by wind alone. They were built from river deposits. Nearby rivers left sediment behind, grain by grain, across a long span of time. The ground slowly rose into low dunes. That shaping took 4 millennia. Layer by layer, deposits stacked until the land under the reserve became a dune field. Today, the reserve rests on that old sediment. What looks like a simple sandy rise is a landscape built by moving water in time. So when you walk there, you are crossing a surface written by rivers long before the reserve existed. Under the pines and sand lies an old trail of deposits. An Iberian beetle is already hard to tell apart from its nearby relatives. At first glance, the bodies look almost the same. These beetles belong to closely related species in the same region. Their visible traits have been changing over time. That shift comes from substantial evolution in body traits. Small differences can move slowly until the usual field marks stop separating one beetle from another. For an observer, identification becomes less clear. A single glance no longer gives an easy name. So a small insect becomes a moving puzzle of traits. In the grass and leaf litter, the beetle sits beside its relatives, almost matching them. Nature keeps finding quiet ways to surprise us. If you enjoyed this set of strange but true facts, subscribe and tell us which one felt the most unbelievable.